Hey folks, I'm finally here. A lot of different conundrums going on. Anyway, and coming off of a Coming off of a 2-hour show, and anyway, hi Derek, hi Para, hello to the other 4 who are lurkers. Hey Philip, come on in, grab a seat, let's have a talk. Hey, lovey love. Love Nikki Angel. Yeah. Yes and no. Oh my goodness. Hey Dave. How you doing, dear? It was quite the conversation on the S4 bunker tonight. So paranormal and Jurassic Park, essentially. All the dinosaurs. Go check it out. It was kind of funny until it got into. It was interesting until it got into some whale stuff, which I couldn't stop laughing from. Couldn't help it. Anyway, yeah, crazy stuff, says Robert. Robert was there. So, let's see. Crazy stuff, Philip. Yeah, lots of dinosaur stuff. Anyway, come on in, have a seat, give a listen. I didn't schedule anything. It's been a wild freaking ride, to say the least, since Saturday. Actually, since Friday. I don't even remember. Did I talk about it on Sunday? Yes, I did. I talked about it on Sunday. So I was up in Concrete, Washington on Saturday afternoon. Hey, folks. And of course, now my nose is running. I apologize immensely. I hate doing that. Anyway, so, and being up in Concrete, cute, darling Nikki. Oh my God. Yeah, I got a lot of shit for that song. Anyway, it's funny. Love you, love. Yeah, it's because of doing all this laughing, and the laughing triggered my sinuses big time. Anyway, so Concrete, Washington on Saturday, they had the emergency preparedness because of Mount Baker. And it's kind of a big deal, and gosh, I talked to this wonderful lady from oh my God, hang on, I did it again. Oh no, what did I do with your stuff, and did you fall over? Did you end up on the ground and I didn't notice? No. Okay, anyway, she was, there you are. I got everybody's business cards. USGS. Anyway, I had a really good conversation with her and learned a great deal of information. Anyway, so if you ever get the opportunity, I highly recommend that you look into your emergency management services and say, hey, I'd like more information on how you guys go about preparing. Everybody's different. I get that. But if there were a natural disaster in the United States, and I mean, we're talking big stuff, wherever you are in the U.S., I mean, we've had a number of them. Hello to the 14. And Para, I'll get to that eventually. I'll get to your question eventually about that. So, as a former co-coordinator, because there were 2 of us, both of us were so busy at the time, this is back in the 90s, that I was a co-coordinator of dealing with, it was either 32 or 33 houses on one block. And so you wanted to know if there were an emergency, what would you do? Where would you go? And then, of course, in it's either 2001 or 2002, we had an earthquake on my birthday in Seattle. That was a 6.8 earthquake that, yeah, that was a fun one. Not. So it was quite the experience. And I literally that fall had learned about all the things that you do for preparedness. And if it did last, yeah, it was 6.8. It was a really hefty duty, a real wowzer. Yeah, a little one. No, not at all. It took down it caused a lot of problems. And then a lot of retrofitting problems in downtown Seattle in some of the old buildings. Anyway, so we ended up, I went house to house like I was taught, and going in and dealing door to door, and we were deciding who was home and figuring all of that out, because 80%, 85% of the houses right there in that block were, everybody was at work. And there were some seniors, and so you knew which houses to double and triple check on, and to see if they were okay. And excuse me, if it had lasted, like it had been like a multi-level, multi-day catastrophe. Yeah, I'm not going to go into that one. But yeah, it just became quite the interesting level, is that we learned about, if it was a multi-day catastrophe, where to go. Do you know where to go in your own neighborhood? Where is it the school? Is it your local school? Is it a community center? What area is your main place to go if you have a natural disaster, and you need help? So your city across the United States has different sections geared up, and I don't know about how the small towns deal with it, but there were some things that I did learn about while I was in Concrete, Washington, which is a small town. And it was fascinating. It was interesting to learn about a lot of different things. So anyway, I highly recommend you get involved in that kind of thing. On the other note, the paranormal side of this is that I had an experience with being asked to look into something. I'm not going to say what, but because I was so extremely tired and exhausted, I did not have the psychic energy to be able to do what was asked of me. And I knew that I was going to go to nature to obtain the energy. And basically, in doing that, I got told by these two trees, which I personally, I don't care if you believe it or not. This is my experience, and you're dealing with a psychic medium and an ET abductee who's been an ET abductee since the age of 2-3 years old. And I work with energy. And so I walked up to two trees, very, very, very tall trees, fir trees. And I got told, no, not us. Go to that one over there. And I was like, okay. And I walk up, and she's basically, and it's a female, and she's welcoming me. And I put my hands on the tree, and I'm letting her know what I need to do. Some of you have heard this and others have not. So I'm doing this for those who have not heard this. And she literally tells me different pieces of information, and then literally in my higher consciousness pulls me through the tree system, the root system, from one system, root system, to another root system into long distance. And so hello to everybody who I have not said hello to yet. I will get through the chat in just a moment. I will get in and read off everybody's names. So thank you for coming. I do appreciate you coming in. Welcome if this is your first time here. So anyway, and she literally showed me this one exact location, and I was like, wow, okay, but this doesn't give me an address. I need a street name. I need something to where I need to know what town I'm in. And I literally get told specific things. And the person that had asked me, I called them over, and they are like, you need to pull out. You got the information that you need, but you need to pull out and pull my energy out. And I, as exhausted as I was, when I was pulling out my right hand, I started shaking. I mean, like badly shaking. And it was because I was still consciously connected, and with my hands, my energy was connected to her. So when you deal with paranormal and you deal with higher energy levels, it's fascinating. And believe me, I got the information I needed, and relayed it to the individual that it needed to go to. But it was just something I've never experienced that before. It was, I literally traveled via higher consciousness above ground while she was pulling me underground. I don't even know how many hundreds of feet underground one section of my higher consciousness was, but that section of higher consciousness was actually holding on to her energy somehow. And my, excuse me, pardon me, getting rather congested from all the laughing I did earlier. Anyway, so I stayed, another section of my consciousness stayed in the upper ground level, and I could see so fast how fast we were traveling. I mean, it was just like a whirlwind. I mean, within seconds we were in the location that she wanted me to be in, to show me where we were going. It was really, okay, I'm just now seeing Philip's comment. I'm claustrophobic, don't want to go that far underground. Honey, I didn't have time to think. It happened within seconds. I mean, in less than, 20 seconds, probably less than that. It was probably closer to 10 seconds. And I was there, and I was like, whoa. It was the fastest I'd ever experienced anything like that. I mean, the second she knew what kind of information I was after, I mean, it was like she, and I say she because that's the energy of this specific tree. Hello to all 17 people who are here. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming in and listening. No need to watch. It's just put me on in the background and go do whatever you need to go do. But anyway, no matter what you're working on, because I don't think I'm going to be showing anything to him. I'm not going to show any. You see what's in the background, and I think that's about it. So anyway, yeah, hooray. Yeah, I've had 18 in here before, Philip. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, so I've never experienced anything like that. This was a first time for me on that Saturday. And wow, was it was a mind bender. I've had a lot of mind benders in the last 5 years. 6 years, 5, 6 years. And wow, that was definitely one of them. Really awesome. And it's something that I will treasure forever. And it's funny because it's like I can still feel her. It's like she's listening. It's interesting because what I've learned is that once you connect to forest energy, tree energy like that, and especially when you're dealing with a tree or a forest that is over 80 years old, they stay with you. I mean, it's like they check in. They know where you're at. They know how to contact you. And it's kind of like Sasquatch does that too. So it's fascinating to me how all of this works out regarding our higher consciousness. But that's the short side of the story. If you want the longer version of the story, go in on Sundays, which I could not even begin to tell you. I think the Sunday was what, the 10th? Yeah, Sunday the 10th. Go into Sunday, September 10th, and check out that one. Anyway, so that's the story of dealing with tree energy, plant energy, whatever you want to call it. But it's fascinating and really freaking cool. I ended up with a psychic high from that. It took me a while to come down from. And it's interesting because as we were driving away, it was like I could still feel her with me, but in a very, very different way. And boy, did I say thank you over and over. So that's something. Anyway, welcome to everybody who's still remaining because now we're down to 12. Okay, so I'm going to go back into chat and see what I've missed for the last 20 minutes. So, and thank you for the likes and the subscribes, and feel free to share it out. And ask anything you want to ask. Okay, so let's go in and see. See, we have Derek and Para and Philip and Dave and Lovey Love and Robert and Sovereign and Tim. And Para. Okay, so Para, let's talk about this. So Para asks, there's been a lot of talk in the last 48 hours about the aliens in the Mexico presentation. Any thoughts, impressions about what they are or where they're from? No, to be quite honest, I don't have any. I haven't even, I've had so much going on, I haven't even begun to delve into that. I really should. I haven't had the energy. That takes a great deal of energy to get into, and I haven't had the extra energy to deal with that kind of stuff right now. But I will. Hopefully by the end of Sunday, I will have more intuitive take on it. So I'd be able to answer questions. Then hit me up, then Para, about it. Oh, we're at top chat. Thank you, Sovereign. You always remind me. Go to live chat, not top chat. Okay, so let's go back up. Hit any. Moon was just swapped out recently. I don't know about that, Sovereign. Derek. Hawaii needs to be exposed. Yeah, I'm not going there tonight, sweetie. 6.8. Let's see. Wrist out. Oh, Jenny's here. Hi, Jenny. And welcome to Thirsty. I don't think you've been here before, although I could be very wrong. Do you know what hit Morocco? No, I haven't. I haven't had time to delve into that. Literally when Friday came around and I was up into the wee morning hours of Saturday morning, that's when I found out about that. And they were labeling, it went from a 6.8 to a 7.2. So if it's down back at a 6.8, it means the scientists have gone back in and done a double check. So, Sovereign, Nikki, the Draco Reptilian moon was modified recently, supposedly. Okay, people are not going to like my response to this, and I don't care. As an ET abductee, I've been on the moon. I do not remember being in 20 and back, but I know that when I've been abducted, ET abducted, that, well, there is no other kind, but I mean, there is, but it's just simpler to say it the way I do. Anyway, when I've been ET abducted, I've gone from ship to ET ship to the moon before. It's like a way station. They literally don't change shit out practically ever on that station. So that's what I know about that, Sovereign. It would really frickin' surprise me if certain things were changed out on it. Like, really surprising. And there's an odor. There's a specific odor that I remember from the hallways, the corridors. It's not a pleasant scent. So there's that. Let's see. Philip, I know. We had to review our FEMA plans for the town. Yeah, see, that's important to do. Okay. Mycelium. Yep. Yep. Love you, love mycelium. Yep. Let's see. I'm getting there, folks. Hang on. Small town Jenny. Dave should put all stories in a book. Put all our stories in a book. Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Don't. Yes, I used to do the okay, so Philip. And yes, I am going to make this public. I used to work for a 24-hour photo lab in downtown Seattle. Grant County Sheriff's Department used to do their pictures, their detective pictures, investigative pictures through that 24-hour photo lab, and Grant County had some wapalulus of auto accidents, and nobody else would take it. I'm the one who took it. I'm the one who would review all those pictures to make sure that not only were they, and there's only one I will ever discuss, and that is a motorcyclist who was beheaded by a semi. That's the only one I'll ever talk about. And To this day, I still pray for the family periodically. It's not it's not a. I have a high regard for what authorities have to do and deal with. It's not easy what they view and what they see. Of course, now they don't. I can't even imagine them doing. And yeah, I did. It was my very first NDA that I'd signed to. One then for the company that I worked for. I'm trying to remember how old I was. I think I was 20, 18 or 20. And you had to sign an NDA for 2 years after the time that you were either fired or quit. And I had quit. I had worked there for, about a year, something like that. I think about a year. And I was the one that they asked every employee. And I went, that kind of stuff doesn't even. I back then I had the issue of the first cut on videos, medical videos and stuff like that. I was like, nope, can't do that. But the other stuff, it fascinates me, and there were some interesting things that came across. But you got to remember, back then, I also dealt with 3 rolls that had thousands of photographs at a time, and literally it went from the canisters went from my hands, and I was the one that took care of the negatives in it's a form of a dark room, but not the kind of dark room you might think. Getting them out of the canisters by hand, putting them on a reel, being very specific about how those reels were done, and then getting that closed up. And all of this had to be in the dark. You couldn't even have a red light, so you had to do this blind, completely pitch black room. And the negatives would be put into a metal sealed case, and then I'd hand them over to a specific individual with the company, usually the manager, of that night manager, or whoever the manager was at that given moment in time. And the manager would print them, would develop them, and you're dealing with old school stuff. He would develop them, process, and then do prints. And the prints would come off in a smaller roll. And I'd go through, I'd go through every print, but I wasn't going slow. I was going, because it was out of respect for what they were doing. It was like, there's some things that are none of my fucking business. And excuse the language, but it was just, it's not my business. And so I couldn't talk about their processes or how things were done, or any of what I witnessed, what I was asked to do. None of it. And obviously it's been a lot of years since then. So you're talking late 80s. So yeah, I didn't tell anybody. Wasn't until I think 5 or 6 years later that I even talked about the fact that I worked for a photo lab, 24-hour photo lab, if I remember right, is how they classified it. But anyway, so yeah, Grant County. I have a high respect for, because of that situation, I have a high respect for how they were dealing with a lot of their stuff. So that's a side note. And we still have we have got 14 in here now. And this is me babbling. You want this? This is just stories. Love you, love. Sending empowerment to you, Nikki. Protection, power, rest up when you can't. Yeah, it's been a wild number of days, to say the least. to say the very least. And a lot went on. A lot went on yesterday. Not Tuesday. On Tuesday, major shit went down. So anyway, so I didn't honestly know if I was going to even be doing the live tonight, and it ended up working out. Okay. Okay. Para, you've mentioned working at the photo lab before. Did you ever get impressions from the pictures you were working with? Oh, yeah. I had some of the, if it was about a deceased body, I'd have the, okay, hang on a minute. I want to be very careful how I word this. I'd have the spirit standing next to me, or directly in front of me, in front of my desk. And my desk was, how do I describe this desk? It's not a desk. I just don't know what else to call it as. You'd have a reel that was literally this big around. Each one weighed between 50 to 75 pounds. You'd have 3 of them. And I was doing 3 reels at a time. And I used to get told you need to slow down. And I'm like, I'm literally catching everything that's wrong. You've tested me repeatedly and you want me to slow down. They're like, yeah, you are going too fast for what we can manage. So I had damn fucking excellent eyes back then. Now my eyes are a bit different. They can't quite handle that. And I need to go get some vision therapy on one of them, but that's beside the point. So yeah, I had, if it was about a deceased body, then typically they'd often be off to my right, or they'd be standing where the rolls, not the reels, the rolls were, or they'd be standing directly in front of me. Now, there were times where I could hear them, hear them talking, but I couldn't grasp what it was that they were saying. You can see their mouth move, but you can't quite hear them. Most of that was a direct result of me being too active, too busy, trying to get too much stuff done. So it's just how it was. Okay. Hang on a minute. What else we got here? Thank you for the hearts, whoever sent hearts. Lovey Love. Let's do a Dorothy Itzot. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right, dear. Capturing the Light. Watch party sometime. Well, that's an interesting. Hey, Desiree White. How are you feeling? Oh my God, how are you feeling? Still not 100%, and I didn't get. Yeah, good times are coming, sweetie. Things take time. I know this one well. Give yourself some time, and I'm glad you're okay in the grand scheme of things. You know what I mean. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah. Let's see what else. Sovereign. Nikki, if you see a spirit, spear it. Oh, cute. That's a great question, Para. Was the spirit near your desk actually visible to you, or was it just felt? Actually, I felt the spirit first before, and then I psychically saw it. So that was how it was. But it was the seeing it didn't last long. The feeling it, I could feel it. And it didn't happen all the time. I mean, not everything that came through had to do with dead bodies. So, a lot of it had to do with other things. So, Tim, can we all give a shout out to at Desiree White? I agree. Give some prayers up to Desiree. Positive energy for healing, folks. Definitely. I wonder if there are spirits who like to go wild on Halloween night just to have fun with the living bodied people. Yeah. Most of them avoid it, to be quite honest. So it's usually not Halloween night. It's usually the night before. The night 2 to 3 nights after. So anyway, your comments are not hidden, Tim. I can see your comments. I don't know if you can. Try refreshing, sweetie. That might have something to do with it. I haven't. Some of them are. Okay. Private message me. Ouch. Oh God, I don't know if I can pronounce that tonight, love. Dios de los Muertos. Yeah. Oh God. That doesn't even sound right to me. I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but I've got the idea. So Tim, if you've got something to say and I'm not seeing it or talking about it, go in and send me a private message since we're both on Day of the Dead. Yeah. Okay, hang on a minute. I'm going to hit silent on that. Okay, and going into that. There we go. All right. So, oh, I don't have up. There's a couple of things I don't have up. Okay, so I need to get rid of that. Excuse me. Let's see. I usually try to have my email up at the same time that I've got this going, because in that way I know when you send me stuff and it comes in right away. Usually. Yeah, nothing's come in. Okay, so, and I can go back over to streaming. Okay, there we go. Dios. Hey, Hollow. How you doing, my love? Yeah, I didn't send anything out. So yeah, it's that has been what is going on. I did have a memory of okay, brain fart. I did have a memory of my mom and I being abducted together. That came up last week. That was kind of a bit of a shocker. So it was somewhere between the ages of 5 and 7. So that was a hell of a shocker for me anyway. So yeah. What else can I tell you? That's a new memory. I'm having more memories of other ET abductions, but I'm not quite really ready to talk about them, but I am ready to talk about being set up. I'm too interesting. Okay, so Tim is saying, I was saying that we need to support each other as a community. I tried saying it in 3 different ways and the comments didn't go through. Okay, that's not me, and my mods are not on here tonight. Well, Robert was. I don't know if he still is. Robert, if you're listening, give a shout out in the chat, please. Positive, I didn't get in any way of any guidelines. No, you shouldn't have. And see, that's the thing. Okay, so here's what I've noticed. And what's been a real pisser is that I have noticed many people getting I don't want to call it's like shadow blocked or shadow banned in different ways. And that's bullshit behavior. I mean, I'm going to call that F out. I mean, that's not acceptable. So if your messages are not coming through and you know how to get a hold of me, message me. I kid you not, because I will read it. You're still here, Tim. Yeah, I know. I figured you were. I figured you either got it up on your TV or up on your phone or something, or whatever device. Anyway, because that's usually what most people do. It's either a phone, a laptop, a computer, desktop, or some other kind of device. So anyway, yeah, if you're getting shadow banned and I'm missing messages from you, and you know how to contact me in different ways, yeah, Hollow, that's it exactly. Uh, just that we need to come together. Simon, that's not Para, that's Simon. They don't like my messages. See, that's the kind of shit that I was experiencing. I experienced that for 2 damn weeks. And it went across the board, any channel I was on. So this is why I say, if I'm not talking about one of your messages, ask if you're to see if one of the other folks in chat picks up and says, no, I see you. Then if the message is either not being read by me, because I try, there's a lot of things that I won't read now, but I am seeing, but there's also a lot of things. It's just because it gets too time consuming to read every one of them out loud. And I want to get Hollow, I'll do that later. Not tonight. That's a whole different ball game. But yeah, I will do that eventually. So anyhow, yeah, it does. It's one of those experiences. Yes. Actually, I'm probably going to add 2 more mods, possibly 3 more. But we'll see. We'll just kind of wait and see. I'm not going to say wait and see. That's not right. This is how I'm going to say this. In the next 48 hours, I will add anywhere from 1 to 3 more mods. I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm just not. Unless there becomes an issue. And I don't believe there's going to be an issue tonight. So, anyhow, yeah, shadow banning is not pleasant. And all of us at some point or another have experienced even minor forms of it. Then that's just not cool. Oh yeah, definitely as a backup. Definitely as a backup. So, and thank you. I appreciate that. YouTube shadow bans all. Yes, they do at different times, Hollow. No, Simon, Sapphire's not here. Sapphire's been blocked permanently on this channel, and for damn good frickin' reason. So there's your answer to that one, dear. Let's see. Love you, love. I've only been hidden by mods, never banned, but from Twitter before. Yeah, I still don't fucking appreciate folks trying to take my OG. Yeah, I understand that. Oh, Izzy. Well, see, I'm not a fan of that individual, Tim. Oh, I can tell you that, Sovereign, but I think Tim should probably tell you. Couldn't promise commitment to all shows, Plus, I'm a government agent. Just comment and like, dislike. Yep. I have the same opinion, Sovereign. That's very rare. You and I having the same opinion. But anyway, Thomas Vessel had too many cooks in his kitchen and someone took out a lot of his. Wow. Yeah. Permanently banned me for some. Yikes. Love you, love. Oh, love you, love. I'm so sorry. Can I ask, do animals and ETs have chakras or just us? Oh, yeah. Yes, actually they do. Animals and ETs have chakra systems. And us puny little humans, sorry, I'm saying that in a snide way for a couple of reasons. There have been different ETs that do not like us humans. And get kind of pissy about it. And then there are ETs who are like, well, you need to be taught. And then there are others, I don't know even how to classify what they think of us. But yeah, but yes, ETs have chakra systems. And animals do too. Animals, you can actually use your own chakra systems to help heal the animals. But that's a totally different ballgame. A number of us do, love. She says, I deserve justice. Yeah, a number of us do. I understand that one real well. Okay. Yeah, targeted individuals, TI. That's always an interesting subject. I knew I was a targeted individual, but I didn't know how much. And wow, did they ever really start pulling BS with me? So, oh, Sovereign, yeah, he's joking around. No worries. I usually feel them. Um, usually feel the agents that come in, and typically they don't come in via chat. It's very unusual if they do. Just an FYI. Yeah, if I get a government agent or a number of them starting to screw with anything with mine, I'll fight it really hard to not actually touch my computer in any way, because I'll go right through the energy. So it's like, you leave my friends alone, you leave this alone. So yeah. Sovereign, Nikki, how was your Angel's account unblocked at SOR? Then he wrenched you right after. No, it wasn't wrenched right after. This was some time after, actually. Oh my God, Simon, don't start. Transmitting to you now. Goofball. Anyway, feel me? Yeah, I know. Anyway, so basically, I was shadow banned for quite some time, for 2 weeks. It wasn't just SOR. It was every freaking chat. I'd make 2 statements, didn't matter what they were, and the second it was registered on YouTube, it was like I couldn't type in shit. Nothing. None of it got the other thing was that I could type. There were times where I could type, but nothing was being viewed. So I'd check different accounts, and sure as shit, it was all gone. None of it was even remotely viewable publicly. So I'd do screenshots, and this went on for about 2 weeks. So yeah, it wasn't pleasant. And one night in chat, this was quite some time. I don't know, it must have been about 3 weeks, a month later after that, or a month and a half later. I don't know, somewhere in there. Dave surprised me with a wrench, and I was like, wow, okay, cool, thank you. Been viewing his show for 5 years. It was a really big surprise, and I do appreciate it. So anyway, so that's how that came about. Yeah, love, you raise enough hell, they gonna know, yeah, you better believe it. Okay, let me go back up. There's a couple things I've missed. Oh, see, Black Dragon. I was hated on Twitter that I had to warn others. I swear they need to keep Twitter and SOR separate. Yeah. Which government? U.S. government, Philip. He's asking which government. Sovereign. Okay. Yeah. Love you, love, I feel loves yous. Yep. Sending love, by the way. Yay. Hollow. What about Hunter? Love you, love. I created 3 extra accounts and all but one. The last was no longer hidden, only on SOR. Oh, yeah, that's questionable. I hope you talked to Dave, found out what the hell's going on. I definitely talked to Dave, and he was like, it's not, and he had checked it. He was like, it wasn't coming from here as mods. And that was when, and I didn't think it was, but I needed to have a, hey, Beth, good to see you, sweetie. It's good to see you. But I needed to have clarification from him, and he gave me the clarification, and I was like, yeah, see, that's what I thought. So it was a shadow banning from YouTube themselves. Susie B, hey, sweetie. Awesome. Lurking. Hello, Nikki and everyone. Awesome. Yeah, some of them he can't, but it's also... Okay, Hollow, what the hell are you talking about? What did I miss? Excuse me. Sorry, folks. Yeah, see, that's the thing. When you hide somebody, it shows, or when a mod hides somebody, it shows up in email. You get notified in email. You also can find out via different sections on your account. So hollow like the moon. Oh, anyway, no, I didn't hear about the New Mexico governor. Although the discussion, Hollow, about the Mexican hearing, though, about ETs. Oh, okay, got it. That's what I was wondering. My brain's not quite up with it. Thank you, Black Dragon. I appreciate that. Sorry for the popping. It's my knuckles. Certain ones are bugging me. Anyway. No way. You gotta be shitting me. I gotta look that up now. What the hell? Hang on a minute. That can't be right. Huh. Oh, that's interesting. Well, not according to this. He's still alive. Okay, I gotta go back over to live streaming. Oh, well, that's interesting. Interesting. Fascinating stuff you guys are talking about. Yeah, Tim, I go through the same shit. Where did my phone learn to spell? Yeah. Isn't it annoying as F? I mean, seriously. It's like, come on. It's supposed to be tech. What age does the soul enter the body? That's a great question, Simon. Wait a second. Sorry. Okay, so based on how I understand it, the soul can enter the physical as the baby's growing. At any time it so chooses. It can even enter just before birth. Kind of interesting way to go about it. I wouldn't personally do it that way, but okay, what else am I missing in here? Um, yeah, Philip, my phone changed Teutonic to tectonic earlier today. Laugh out loud. Didn't need changed. Yes, I've had that kind of shit go on with my phone too. Um, oh, how interesting. So, Simon, I hope that answers your question. It can happen pretty much from shortly after conception, all the way up to just before birth. Um, what the hell am I missing? I missed something. Okay, hang on a minute. Clones 2 hollow. Okay, what are we talking clones for? Oh, got it. Okay. Oh, crap. My brain is not worth it. Hella beans at this sec. I'm trying to connect with this, and my brain just is not doing it. Sorry, folks. I'm trying to figure out what the hell's. Oh, yeah, I got it. Okay. Okay, so. Okay, good. I'm glad that helps, Simon. The other thing is, Simon, I've also heard certain individuals, and I have never had this verified or clarified. I have heard very few individuals make the claim that they came in Yeah, in a minute, Derek. I know you've asked me that before. I haven't gotten to it yet. It made the claim that they came in seconds after birth. I don't know about that. Clones. Okay. Tim, this past iPhone update was the worst. Yes, I understand that. Wow, Philip. Okay, that's at Black Dragon. I would very much like to have a conversation with you, Philip, about that one regarding BTK. Hit me up privately. I want to find out more information on that. I'd have to, Hollow, I know somebody that works in that department, and I don't know how accurate that information is. Okay, so Derek, Nikki, your thoughts on and I can never pronounce it, but Hawaii. I think it's appallingly bad. All right, Hollow, you're being a smartass. Love you, but you're being a smartass. I think it was an appallingly bad. I have my own opinions that I rarely will even speak privately about it. But what I will say is appallingly bad. I have much, much stronger viewpoint on it. Let's put it that way, shall we? But that's an answer to your question. Derek, hate to say it, West Coast is next and East Coast has 5 hurricanes coming on their way. Oh, how that's an interesting question, Sovereign. At Tim, any idea if Nightbot is an AI mod or some Karen that mods for larger suspicious UFO channels? That's a really good question. Simon, I'm not going to make a statement on that publicly. For safety's sake, after what I've experienced, I am not. That is one of those things I'm not ready to go public about. Okay, thank you, Simon. I appreciate that. Jenny, so hi, Dragon, and Philip, Nightbot isn't only on UFO channels. Correct, I fully agree with that. I've seen Nightbot in a number of locations. Philip, the scientist, who cloned Dolly the Sheep, he died recently. Is that what you are thinking of, Hollow? At Hollow. Oh, how interesting. Really, he died? What'd he die of? when you choose to use it. Oh, how interesting. Wow. See, the guy who cloned Dolly and the one who cloned a human. If human, well, let's see, if I remember right, the baby was female. They called her something specific, and now she's what, 17, 20, something like that. I got choice words to say on that, buddy boy, scientist who did it. Don't start screwing around like the ETs are doing. You're better than that. There's cloning, then there's danger. And just because you can does not mean you should. They're a hell of a lot better at it than you are. Okay. Ooh, hello. Time claimed him. Okay. Apparently he was trying to cure himself of Parkinson's. Okay. Yeah, hello. It's a pretty sick thing that they did. 1997, Dolly was cloned 326. Yeah, Derek. Simon Dews, I look it up. Thanks, Sovereign. 26 years. Typo. Philip. Whoops. Where we go? He died on Monday, years after being diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Okay. Noah. Oh, that's Derek. Okay. Lovey love. How about the saber-toothed tigers, y'all? Yeah, no kidding. They're talking about actually starting with mammoths. Yeah, I heard that. They need to knock that shit off. They need to quit screwing with what they don't truly frickin' know about. Beth, sounds like the North Carolina Zoo will be interesting. Yeah. Love. Yes, they do. Here's a little ditty for y'all. Most of you, the insane rulers, were poisoned by lead. Yep. And most of them were also poisoned, Tim, with different things that, like the women were using facial creams that had different poisons in them. So they were literally killing themselves by dealing with high toxic levels of different things that were killing the liver and their kidneys and really screwing them up big time. There are all sorts of stuff, even in one of my lifetimes. I mean, women were using certain things in Egypt and that kind of stuff is all really well documented. Hey Nathan, welcome, hun. Saw you online. Yeah, we're just kind of It's been an hour and 14 minutes, so maybe 45 minutes more. We'll see how I'm feeling. Yes, lovey love, they did. They used belladonna drops for the eyes, a little arsenic powder for the complexion, a little arsenic green in your wallpaper and tapestry, your linens and dresses. Yeah. They ground up, what's the red? I can't think of what the red was. The red, they created red using, oh shit, I used to know this. I used to take art and used to do a lot of, ochre. There were a lot of different things that they used. They even used ground crystals, crystals is not the word, gemstones. They used to use ground gemstones. Cyan. Cyan is CYAN. God, I can't think of it. Anyway, it was toxic. I'm not going there. So, hollow. Cue the song. Something about toxic. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. So it's just it. They did themselves in. But regarding the cloning, the ETs are better at it. A hell of a lot better. Learn from, their experiences. And cyan, thank you, cyanide. Yep, that's what I was just couldn't get my brain to wrap around it. I've had an extensive day today, so I'm surprised I even remember that much right now. But yeah, it's kind of a big deal. So, what questions do you guys want? The psychic's not necessarily on tonight, but I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I don't feel like it. But on the same point, ask me ET stuff. I might be able to give you an answer. Derek, I was a Mason in the Orange Park chapter. Oh, honey. Simon, where does an electron get its energy? Sweetie, I would have to have, oh my God. Einstein will have to come in again. I don't know if I've got the energy for that right now. Couldn't begin to tell you. I'm not that scientific. I mean, I'm science oriented and critical thinking oriented, but to be perfectly honest, that is not my forte. That is like where I had a conversation about hardcore science, and Albert Einstein showed up, and he literally took over the conversation with the two individuals that I was talking with. And wow, I mean, it was so far above my pay grade, honey. And he gave me info, and I was like talking to these two going, okay, I need to make sure that what I'm is coming out of my mouth, what I'm repeating word for word that he's telling me to tell you is actually accurate. And I hear silence, and then, yes, Nikki, it's accurate. And I'm hearing laughter from him. And I'm like, he's laughing. And I'm like, well, I can't help it. I need to know because I don't want to give out incorrect information. And I knew it was him. I mean, the energy is very specific. So, and yeah, he hasn't come back since. So I have had others come back, but Mr. Einstein has not come back yet. Albie. I got told to call him Albie. Albie hasn't come back. So anyway, and now I'm babbling. Timmy first, hollow, blue, green, the fat love. Derek. Nathan. Any off-world being any off-world being contact lady. Yeah, actually, Nathan, I have had off-world contact. There's a ET who in higher consciousness contacts me periodically. Female, and she periodically gives me yeah, you're welcome, Simon. She periodically gives me information, and every once in a while she'll go if I get something wrong, she's like, I'm listening. It's this instead of that. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. And I kind of tend to go with that because I know she's right and I was definitely wrong. So, yeah. And that makes for some interesting conversations on my part with her. Okay. So there's your answer, Nathan. Couldn't begin to tell you what she's talked to me about. I haven't been writing that kind of stuff down. I've mostly been talking about it with you guys here if she is in contact with me or so anyhow. Sovereign, Nikki, check this out. In Mexico, a shapeshifter is called a Nagul. Root word Nag equals Naga. Reptilian. Well, Naga is snake. Interesting. Love you, love from the opposition of Simon. Okay. Excuse me. Tavern, check this out. Eagle 6 what? Oh my. Derek. Oh my god. Oh, that wasn't Derek. That was, well, yeah, it's a combination. Okay, Black Dragon. That was Black Dragon. Simon. No, we're done with. Okay, Para. Is this the same one that is protecting you from your government friends? She herself is not protecting me from them. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Love you, love. Dragon's blood. House of the Dragon might be true. I have no wings. I know people that do, dear. Sovereign, Black Dragon. I know, it's no joke. Have seen how many are reptilian. Many, yeah. Love you, love. Close to the world. Oh, close to the word. Nazgul. Token stole it then. Naga, like in Bhutan. Yeah, that's just what I was wondering about too, Philip. It's a Naga is usually a word for snake. Yeah, it's reptilian, but it's a word for snake. But yeah. Whoopsie doodle. Let's see, that's gotta move. Sovereign, Nikki, there are white hat UFOs patrolling our skies. Okay, Sovereign, exactly what do you mean white hat UFOs? Are you talking US government? Or are you talking true ET? Love you, love. I love that he wrote languages. Tolkien was a master of swords. Hello to the 18 people in chat and all the lurkers. Hey, folks. Come on in. Grab a cuppa of whatever you got a cuppa of and sit on down. Enjoy the weird conversation. Oh dear, Black Dragon. Was she really? True ET. Oh, really, Sovereign? Okay, here's what I know about that. Oh, I'd have to look into that. I'd have to find out. Okay, so Simon just asked, have you ever come across CAR, Karr, or GAR, good reptilians who've been on the cryptid hunters through a guy called Nigel? I'll have to look into exactly what his description of them are. So Sovereign, true ETs that you're calling white hats. There are times that people have described to me certain situations with seeing specific lights, and when they're talking, I usually receive psychic kits. And the psychic kits are, yeah, they're ET ships, but they're human children driving those ET ships. They're in training. So what I have asked the ETs is that true? And I get a yes. So there's a bit of information for you guys. It's a hell of an eye-opener when you think about it. Think about the fact that if you're seeing one and you're seeing what is zipping across different areas, think about who's controlling that. Is it a metamorphing or morphing metal that can shapeshift from very, very large ship down to very, very tiny into an orb? Because the ETs have the ability to do that, and it's literally via, and I've seen the material. I've walked on ships that are morphing. The ships actually frickin' morph. It's living metal. I've walked down corridors where there's a wall, and all of a sudden the wall opens up into a door, or doorway, is how I should say that. And it's literally living metal. I've seen children want to play on their version of a playground, and a room that is empty, and then is, the children come in with their nursemaids, and this floor literally converts into and morphs into exactly what that child wants to play on. I've seen that kind of stuff. I've seen where children want to run upstairs, up a flight of stairs, and the floor literally, there was nothing there before, and the floor literally opens up, and not opens up, but creates a stairwell, and a very, very specific kind of stairwell, because it's literally taking it out of the child's mind. The ET ship is literally in telepathic communication with the child, and it's I've experienced it myself. So I know it's I know it can happen. How's that for some interesting information? And like I said, do I care if you believe me? No. These are my experiences. This is what I've literally witnessed. If you don't believe that, that's up to you. That's fine by me. I don't care. I'm just simply telling you what the information is and what I've experienced, what I've witnessed. So, and those that are in chat, they know. Love you, love. Ferrous fluid. I don't know what to call it, hun. I do not hollow preach it, Mom. I love you. Mwah. I miss you. We got to get together. Got to have dinner sometime together. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know what kind of material it is, what kind of metal. I just know that it's literally classified to me from what they tell me is it's literally living metal. It's conscious. It's got consciousness in it. I don't know. Oh, finally, I've been waiting for that for a while. I've been trying to explain it for a long time, and I don't know how the hell to explain it. I just know what I've witnessed. I've witnessed these children want a specific device to play on, and it literally rises up out of the floor. And it's elaborate. And then there are times where it's absolutely simplistic for another child. And stairs. And I'm like, where the hell did the stairs come from? You know? And then the kid runs up and goes up and then comes back down, and that's what they wanted. And then it's like one half of the stairs disappears up into the ceiling, the other half of the stairs disappears down below. And I'm like, oh my God, this is, and a room will become a room with windows, with what looks like glass. It's freaking mind bending. I mean, do you understand how difficult it is for me to even wrap my own head around this? I am an experiencer of this, and I can't even fathom half of this. This is mind-boggling to even me. I can't even imagine how it's going to come across to somebody who's not experienced it. I mean, this is the woo factor beyond the extreme to me, and I've fucking lived it. But here's the thing. I'm willing to talk about it. To hell with the goddamn consequences. I'm willing to talk about it. And the other side to this is that we need to come together as a community. We need to be talking about these things as a community. We need to back each other up and support each other, not tear each other down. Create the positivity. I mean, tearing each other down is bullshit behavior. Do I like Greer? No. But yet at the same time, there are aspects of what he talks about that I agree with. But yet, I'm not going to rip him a new asshole for it. He's doing what he thinks is right. Do I agree with it? Fuck no. However, Will I say to certain people, yeah, go look up this aspect of what he's talking about. This is accurate. Do I agree with the money making high end of it? No. And I get where he's coming with it because he's trying to make up for lost money, lost income. I get that. Do I agree with it? No. But I get it. But that's my personal opinion. So, but I'm not going to rip him a new asshole for doing what he's doing. You know, it's like you're caught in this catch-22. Yeah, lovey love. That's right. Empowerment is the mission. And it is. Higher consciousness is the key. I mean, it's really freaking important, folks. Really, really important that we back each other up and that we support each other. I know people who are abductees who, because of who they work for, are like, there's no way in hell I'm coming out. I need my job. These are business people. There's no way they're going to accept this. I know somebody else that has been outright told by their boss, you need to create a fake name. So they've got a fake name in the community because that's the only way that they can even remotely talk about anything. Their boss, it's like, don't put your face on Facebook. Don't put your face on the internet, but use your fake name and talk. I don't care. But their real name is connected to that business. And that business head is like, no. So, you got to do what you got to do. Right now, I'm not working. I'm not working. Do I need the income? Yeah, but I'm not going to go to the level that other individuals are. So it becomes a real major struggle. But listen, you got to support each other. And if you don't, this community falls apart. And that's what the higher ups, and well, I don't mean hierarchies, I mean the asshats. I mean the hardcore asshats. They want this community torn down because they want their privacy. They don't want things discussed. It is what it is. I get that. But it's hard. But it's important. And it's an important fight. And it's one worth fighting for. There's a lot that's about to take place in the coming years. A lot. And some of it's going to be mind-bending, and some people are not going to be able to wrap their head around it, and they're going to be in such denial. That's fine. You're going to put your head in the sand? You already have been, and that's really sad for you. That's really sad for your soul, in fact. You got to start opening up and making the realization we're not alone in our galaxy, in our universe, and we haven't been for a very, very long time. Very long time. So, on that note, I am going to take a look at what has been going on in my chat room, because I haven't done that. I've been keeping bits and pieces, as to what's going on. And then I don't really expect to be on too much longer, truly, grand scheme of things. Okay, so let's see, where have we gotten to? Simon, why are you staying quiet, hun? Okay. Sovereign, there are no good reptilians. Hogwash. Yeah, okay, I beg to differ with that based on my own personal experience. There are. Whether you choose to believe or accept that, that's up to you. Don't buy into the narrative that all ETs are bad. You got some good, some bad, and some that are It's just how it is. And it's like that with humanity, it's too. I mean, you got some that are good, some bad, some So it is what it is. It's that way with every race, every species there is known. So just be forewarned. Heard that, yeah. Derek, everyone who is watching, say hello. Yes, please. There's 18 again. So we've had people coming and going. Hollow, there is self-healing material. How long till this is mainstream? Hollow, in answer to your question, it's going to be quite some time before it's mainstream. Quite some time. In the next 50 years, okay. Honey, you're not going to like this answer, but I am going to say it. By the time you have children, and those children are grown, by the time they're adults, by the time they turn 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, I will be gone at some point by that time. I will not have been gone too horribly long by that point. But, and I know that. I know I will be gone at age 93 or thereabouts, 92 to 96. And whenever you guys have children. So is around the time that certain major things are going to start coming out. So you're looking, and I'm 55, so you guys do the math, folks. So by the time I die, somewhere between 93 and 96 years old, 92 to 96, and I keep hitting 93. Every time I ask this question, I hit the number 93. It'll be about that time when it starts coming out. And one of my grandchildren, I already know, is going to be writing a book on me. And it will become a very, very famous book. You will have an author on your hands, my dear boy. And they will be damn fucking good. Give them all the support you can. I've already got letters written for that individual. Anyway, but around that time is when things are really going to start panning out. So a number of years from now. And they're going to try to hide the living shit out of this for as long as they possibly can. But we're in the very, very beginning stages of ufology regarding whistleblowers regarding government, regarding other governments, a lot of different aspects. So, and people are going to have a hard time with this. And they're going to have a hard time with this. I mean, there was a guy, I went onto his channel yesterday Tuesday evening. I had to think about that. I went onto his channel Tuesday evening, and he was talking about the he was doing the live broadcast, or the recorded broadcast by that point, of the Mexican hearing information, and they were showing eggs, ETs, females, that had been pregnant at the time and that had eggs in them. And I'm like, this is nothing new. Why is this such a big deal to you? You're in ufology. Why is this so mind-bending of a thing? And it's like, see, to me, this is nothing new to me. I have experienced so damn much regarding all of this. I've got 26, and it's mind-boggling to me to even talk about this, but I've got 26 hybrid children that I'm consciously aware of. Today I was just told I had 28 by a psychic, and I was like, that's more than I know. I mean, I'm still having a hard time with the 26. But look, this has been going, for me, this has been going on. They had me pregnant at 13 years old. I was still a virgin. Long before I ever had sex. And at age 14, I was only pregnant for a number of months. And shortly after I was 14, they removed the baby, which is why by the time I had my son, I was terrified that my infant was going to be taken from me. I mean, terrified. I mean, this kid, and that's why I think my body went into lockdown, not coming out. This kid is not coming out of me, and I think that that's why. And it wasn't him doing it. He wanted to be born. This is what I think happened to my body. I think my body went into an instinctual lockdown mode, and that's why they had to do a C-section on me to remove the infant, because my body went into this extreme fear factor mode. And it literally put both of our lives, it literally put both of our lives in jeopardy. And I could not control it. I didn't know that I could control it back then. I just knew I was absolutely terrified. Because from the moment I was 14 years old, they remove the infants out of your body. And they gestate them in a container. And then they birth them out of that container. And then you go through what's called a circadian rhythm bonding chair. It's kind of like a ritual. I don't know what else to call it. And that baby has to bond to its mother. And the second that is done, they literally rip that kid out of your arms. And so I had a number of children by the time my human son was born. And I had this instinctual, insane fear, terrified fear that my child was going to not only be removed from my body, but that he was going to be ripped out of my arms and I would never see him again. And it was extremely difficult for me to bond with my child, my human child. But I did. Very, very much so. I mean, it is a big deal. And I'm talking about it and trying to fight back tears right now, because it's like, this was a gigantic deal. And this is the kind of shit that needs to be talked about. This is the kind of shit, and it is shit. This is the kind of emotional shit that abductee women go through, who have been put in through And some call it a breeding program. I call it a baby program because if I start calling it a breeding program, I will become angry. There are aspects of my anger and aspects of my rage that I keep very, very well under control. And there are reasons for that. I want to be able to see my children. I want the positivity. I don't want to hold on to that anger. It's not conducive to healing. I work really hard on positivity. At times, and I let a lot of other things go because, like a friend says, water off a duck's back. And my son will know exactly who that is. It's been a person's been like a family member to us. So, but water off a duck's back. And you got to let it go, because if you don't, it will eat you up inside. And it's like, why do that to yourself? These things need to be talked about. And the women who are abductees, who are going through this, need to know it's okay to talk about it. There are safe places to discuss it. It's difficult to find those safe places, but there are people to talk about it with. And I can give you 3 names off the top of my head right now. I'm not going to do that publicly. You want that kind of information, hit me up privately, or go through my channel, and you will see the different things, the different names, the different. This is why I make who I follow on my channel public, so that you can see the different names, the different individuals that I follow. There are reasons for that. So, okay, I haven't looked at chat in a while, but yeah, this is important stuff that needs to be talked about, and women that are abductees in these programs. And there are so many different kinds of programs, it's not even funny. There are the kind that I am in, then there are the kind that other women are in, where they're actually having sex. I don't know how else to say it. They're actually having sex. Then there are the kind where it's how do I say this? Where their partners, their sexual partners, human, female, their male sexual partner, it gets into some wonky stuff. And there are people in ufology that do have the understanding to this. But these things need to be talked about. They really do. Okay. Black Dragon, Nikki, I had a vision of crafts that use higher frequency. Yeah, there are many kinds of, many kinds. Love you, love. This is why I love you, Nikki. Thank you. I appreciate that. Love you, love, very, very much. Hollow. Some do not wish to move past their own. That is another side. Yes, correct, Hollow. Love you, love. Empowerment is the mission. Last Friday night on SOR would have been our Keith Andrews, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely check him out. Excuse me. Our Keith Andrews. Definitely check him out. He's an abductee himself. He understands different things, different aspects. He's a psychic medium or intuitive. Let's see if I can call up his info here. Woo, that's bright. Okay. No, I don't want to log out. That's going to mess everything up. Okay. Or Keith Andrews. Here we go. Copy. And over here. And we hit paste. Doom. There we go. There's Keith. Check him out. Quality individual with great information. Nathan, don't worry about it, sweetie. Go to bed if you need to. Beth, I made an iron cross. You're good, Beth. I'm glad to hear that. Love you, love. I'm tired of being an employee number, but there's no escaping that. Yeah, I hear that. Okay, talking TV shows. Wait a minute, what did I miss? Philip at Nikki, a support group might be beneficial. Yes, there are a number of support groups out there. Come on, my bear. Yeah, exactly. Love you, love. First Amendment, yeah. Otherworldly Wanderer, welcome to my chat. Appreciate you coming in. It just dawned on me who you are. Hey. Thirsty. Hey, you're back, Thirsty. Okay. Okay. Lovey love. Let's get a list of support groups for you folks that might be dealing. Yeah. Only the strong survive. Yep. Very much so. It's very difficult dealing with all of these issues, and you really do need the support. Truly. It's okay. Get the rest of my tea in. It's a major ordeal. You got to have the support backing you up. If you don't have family supporting you, if you don't have, yes, I remembered. That's why I was smiling. I haven't talked to you in a while, sweetie. And by the way, beautiful pictures that I saw on your Facebook page. Wonderful. Really liked what I saw. Anyway, so if you're not being supported by family, come in and get supported via the ufology community. A lot of people will support you in what you talk about. Now, granted, we all have our own opinions, and there are times we will all disagree with each other. And that's completely normal and natural. But always remember, you got a place. And that's a big deal. That's a really, really freaking big deal. Simon, the hybrids must have soul contracts, soul agreements with their higher selves too. Is that how it works? Yes, in many aspects. Not all of them do, but many do. Most souls have different soul contracts. Excuse me. Otherworldly wanderer. Yes, I agree. Black dragon. My support are the energies around me. Love you, love yous guys. Good night, babies. Good night, babes. Yeah. Take real good care. Good night. Love you, love. Anyway. Yeah, there are contracts, soul contracts. With many humans have soul contracts too. You've got a lot of soul contracts. Actually a lot. Now there are not soul contracts for absolutely everything, but there are soul contracts that really make a major wow. So, Simon, like I said, you can always ask. Doesn't necessarily mean that I can answer every question, but like you found out earlier, because I can only answer what I know and or remember. That's the other thing. And I don't channel. There's a big difference between the word channel, what true channeling is versus mediumship abilities. And so like Einstein will come through and he'll talk to me and I'll parrot what he says verbatim, word for word. Sometimes I have to ask, like if it's him, I have to ask him to slow down because I'm like, I know those words, but if you want me to say word for word, you need to slow it down. And certain souls are like that. Certain spirits are like that, especially when they want very specific energy coming in and saying something specific to like the loved one. And unlike with him, it wasn't him talking to a loved one, it was him talking to other science-minded individuals who wanted the information. Okay, now I need to check my email. Hang on one second, guys. Thank you for the message, Simon. I did just read it. I will consider that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Simon, have a great night, Nikki, and see you in the next one, everyone. Good night, Simon. Take very good care of yourself, sweetie. Sovereign, Nikki, angelic hybrids do not marry. Where did that come from? Angelic hybrids. Okay, there's a difference between those two words. There's angelics and then there's hybrids. I've never heard of angelic hybrids. Not to my knowledge, anyway. Yeah, you're welcome, Simon. Jenny, you're still here. I'm glad you're here. Para, when Einstein speaks to you. Do you hear it with an accent? Yes. He's got a very specific accent, actually. Oh, yikes, otherworldly wanderer. Yikes. Yeah, he's Einstein is really. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad, Jenny. That's good. When Einstein was here, he's got an interesting laugh too. I can't even describe his laugh. And I'm usually pretty good describing stuff. Freaking laugh my ass. What the hell are you laughing about? Hollow, what you laughing about? Anyway, so but yeah, he's got a specific voice. And it's I don't know, I've always found it interesting. Very different in comparison to, say, like when oh my god, now I can't think of his name. I can't think of his name. I got a brain fart going. You just asked a question, hun. Okay, hang on a minute. Sovereign. It didn't go. How long ago, Sovereign? Otherworldly wonder. Pleiadians are reptoid, not trusted. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Sovereign, I did answer your question about maybe you didn't hear me. I did answer your question about angelic hybrids. So if it's not about the angelic hybrids, write it again. And if that doesn't work, you know how to email me. This is exactly why I here's the hang on a minute. Okay, there's my email. So if it's restorebelief2022@gmail.com. Yes. Beth, Nikki, have you ever run into any type of entity that you had to go to someone else for help with? Yes. I've worked on teams before, Beth. Sometimes there's 3 of us, sometimes there's 5 of us, sometimes 6. It's never been more than 6 individuals on a team. Oh, yeah, it didn't come through, Sovereign. I'm seeing it now. He says, I asked if you've ever psychically met one of your hybrid kids. Yes, I'll get into that in just a minute. But I want to finish responding with Beth. Have you ever run into any type of entity that you would go to someone else for help? Yes. So I have had that experience. I've never been on a team that's larger than 6. I've worked with 2, 3. We've been a team of 2, team of 3, all the way up to a team of 6, but I've never gone beyond 6. So yeah, there have been times. Sometimes the situation, the case is. Oh, there we go. See if we can do that one too. Sometimes the situation, the case, whatever the situation is, requires more than one individual. And when you're working with those individuals, you know that each one of them has your back, which means you better damn well trust them with your life. So, yeah, I have worked with people that I have trusted with my life before. Physically not. Yes, I have. Physically, not psychically. Oh, did I misread that? I did misread that. Oh, I'm sorry, Sovereign. So Sovereign asks, have you ever physically met one of your hybrid kids? Yes, I have. I've higher consciously met some. I've physically met some. The ETs, not in this physical body though. The ETs, what they do is they take my consciousness and put it into a clone body, and I've met them in my clone body. And that's a whole nother subject. That has to do with, they're very, 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 very specific. Very specific. It gets annoyingly so that they are that specific. But yes, I have. Yeah, not a. Yeah, there's some bad and some good regarding stuff in space. Wanderer, or worldly. Worldly. I'm going to call you worldly, or am I going to call you wanderer to shorten it down? So. Let's see, what else do we got here? Don't believe I've worked with Pleiadians. At least not that I remember. Oh God, I can't remember. Is it the Pleiadians that are the ones that cannot be on planet Earth? Excuse me, I cannot remember if it's them or not. The ones that actually physically cannot be on Earth because it will kill them. Oh God, what is that? Aha, there we go. I think we've caught up with everything. Susie B. Nikki is also so brave. Thanks, Nikki. Yeah, you're welcome, Susie. Okay. Oh, sorry. And yeah, clones, the ETs deal with the clones. It's funny because Saturday, when I was gone, I literally said, "Have I ever met you before?" And I looked at the individual and I said, "Oh, I've had that. I've experienced that question every size I've ever been." And it's interesting because we all have doppelgangers, but because I know I've got clones, I've got 3 physical clones. Granted, they're on ET ships. And I've been in those bodies in higher consciousness it definitely makes me question if those hybrid bodies have ever been on Earth. Don't think they have. Not based on what I physically sense from them. Anyway, yeah, you might want to get into a different group, Wanderer. There's a couple of different groups that might be able to be of use for that discussion. So no worries. You can talk about it here. That's not why I said that. Yeah, no kidding, Sovereign. Wanderer, there's no need to be sorry. Seriously, there's no need to be sorry. You're fine. Sovereign, the reality that many have been cloned is scary. Consciousness transfer is no joke. No, it's not. That frightened me, actually. When I first made the realization of what was actually taking place and what was happening, and then I started asking questions, and they wouldn't tell me how this was taking place at the time. And then I was slowly over time shown, and wow, it significantly impacted me. I mean, for me to be able to talk to you guys about this, to tell you about this, I've had to really wrap my mind around so many different concepts. It's some of it has been frightening, Sovereign. Some of it's been extraordinarily mind-bending. And some of it I've asked myself, oh my God, you can't make this shit up, but damn, did this just really happen? And I will quiz myself up one side and down the fucking other, going, wait a minute. And I will try to piece it together, going, and logically, in a critical thinking skill manner that I'm used to doing, and question every side of it, because I'm like, wait a minute. I don't take this stuff blindly. I am one to where I'm like, no, that can't be possible. How is that possible? And then I get shown how it's possible in detail. And there are times I get very careful now in what I ask to know, because there are times where they literally will show you, and it can be overwhelming to an nth degree. I mean, there have been times where I can't handle some of the information that I've had. And I've had to work really hard at being able to comprehend all of this. I mean, I ask questions all the damn time, going, wait a minute, this is bullshit. And they're like, no, this is what's taking place. And I'm like, I call bullshit. There's no way. And then I get shown that, oh yes, it's very real, and this is how it happens, and this is what takes place. So you've got to ask questions. You've got to be open-minded, but yet critical thinking enough I don't just take this stuff blindly and go, oh my God, it's this. Are you freaking kidding me? I question shit all the damn time. You have to. You have to ask questions. You have to. And you should. At least in my opinion, you should. Excuse me. It's a safe place to talk, otherworldly wanderer. So, what else do you guys want to discuss? I think I've got maybe 10 minutes left in me and then I'm done. I can feel it. I'm really freaking tired. So, PSI, pounds per square inch. Yeah. Yep. So, any last comments, questions before I call it a night? And since we're on a delay, I will wait. I will look into that, Derek. Thank you for mentioning that in chat. I will. I'll do that. Okay. Thank you for mentioning it. Paramarv, how are you coming up with that age? Do you find it comforts you that you have that knowledge, or does it put pressure on you in some way? Okay, coming up with what age, sweetheart? What are we talking about? Para, are you talking about, you said you would live to 90? Psychic information I've received over and oh my God, they will not shut up. Every time it comes up or I ask, I keep getting told 93, between 93 and 96, but I'm like, it feels more like 92, but so that's how the other side tells me. My spirit guides, even the living ET, even the ET that is a spirit guide tells me. So that's how. Sorry, that's how I know. Do you find it comforts you that you have that knowledge? Or no, it doesn't really comfort me. Irritates me, actually. So, and I think it irritates me because I'm like, I have only one family member who lived until they were 92, I think. Everyone else has died in their 70s and 80s. I had one that was much younger, my grandmother who was much younger. So, but yeah, it's just amazing stuff. Just truly amazing stuff. But that is why. Yeah, I've heard a number of people mention September 23rd, but I haven't looked into why. As in what kind? Sovereign, what kind are we talking about? Are we talking ET or human? What the hell are you talking about, dear? So, no, I've heard 27th also, September 27th. But, you know, anyway. Okay, I'm going to give it another moment and then we're going to wrap it up. Because as you can see, my eyes are like we're starting to go into slit version. That's not good. So, yeah, our world has a lot going on it. Yes, hey, Hollow. Excuse me, Mexico uncovering ET. Yeah, that, there are some in ufology who are throwing a fit about that, Hollow. Because they know certain information about the bodies. And then some of the ET abductees are saying, finally, screaming, finally. You know, and our US media is not taking it well. So there's that. I will do that, Derek. Thank you for the information. Research the World's Fair and orphan trains. I'll do that. Yeah, I heard something earlier on Wednesday that just kind of threw me for a loop, some information. And I'm not going to discuss that publicly, but it just threw me for a major loop on what I heard. So there's a lot of research to do in the coming months, while I deal with all my personal life stuff at the same time as dealing with this stuff. So, Derek says Dave Scott said earlier those bodies had human DNA and were alien reptoids. Sovereign Derek, notice piece. Yeah, I'm not repeating the rest of that. Anyway, thank you, Derek, for the research World's Fair and orphan train. So I will do that. I wasn't fully conscious of the weather yesterday. I noticed that it was 71, where in my town. And not much rain, but earlier last week we did have some rain. So that was good. So yeah, and there goes a throat. So anyway, guys, on that note, I am saying goodnight. I hope. Sorry, hang on. Got that little bit of tickle going again. On that note, I hope you all have a good evening, morning, afternoon. Take very good care of yourself. And do what you need to protect yourself in all in all avenues and aspects. Do your research. Be critical thinking. Use your critical thinking skills always. ask questions, make noise, get messy, and enjoy time. Yeah, you're very welcome, Para. Para says, thank you, Nikki, for hosting us tonight. You're very welcome, sweetheart. Very welcome. Do your research. Do your research. Take note of things. Become more aware. Open up your own chakras or get them opened up for you. Create new avenues. On that note, I want to say namaste, and I'm not quite sure why, but I wish all of you a good rest of your week. Keep checking my stuff again periodically. You will find that I will be up posting for Wednesday nights, technically Thursday mornings. And if I can do a live either Sunday night or Tuesday night, I will. Or Tuesday wee morning hours, I will. Anyway, on that note, adieu. Be safe. Peace. Work on self. Work on protection. Work on healing. And always know you are loved. You do have people who love and care about you. Adios, folks. And thank you for everybody who came by in chat during the live broadcast and all of those who are watching this now. I thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, and share. I knew there was something I was forgetting. Anyway, thank you and take care. Bye, guys.